Now here's a work by an unknown black African, and Pablo Picasso liked what he saw. Another African design, and Modigliani swiped it, or he was influenced by it, or whatever polite word you want to use. Another black African artist, and Picasso didn't change it very much. I mean, when you look at this copy, you got to give us a little more than rhythm. You got to give us style. Now, if you tell the history of slavery right, you got a big problem on your hands. The slave trader didn't take some savage out of Africa. He took a human being. He sold him like an animal and separated him from his family. America invented the cruelest slavery in the history of the world because it broke up black families. After slavery was over, America kept breaking up the black man's family. And that's some awful history to teach. Now, if you want to look history right straight in the eye, you're going to get a black eye. Because it isn't important whether a few black heroes got lost or stolen or strayed in America's history textbooks. What's important is why they got left out. Now, this country has got a psychological history. There was a master race, there was a slave race. And though there isn't any political slavery anymore, those same old attitudes have hung around. I mean, the burning part of Burn, Baby Burn is right here in this classroom. We want to thank Mrs. Lovely Billups and the whole gang here at the 4th grade for the brilliant and intelligent artwork that they've done here to make this whole broadcast sing. I want you guys to keep pretending that I'm not here. You're doing a great job, and just keep on drawing and reading and writing and doing what you have to do, because I'm going to talk about some other kids. Not you, Mary, John, and Bob. These are kids from other schools. Did you know in some states it used to be against the law to teach blacks to read or write? Nowadays we're getting these integrated schoolrooms, and most people think that if we get enough teaching and enough jobs, everything is going to take care of itself. But there is a scar of history running right through kids as young as these. It tears you up if you know how to look at drawings kids make, because kids shouldn't know much about history and anything about discrimination. I mean, nobody hates little black kids, but why do some of them cause so much trouble? And if you ask black and white children to draw themselves, or trees, or houses, some strange things happen. We asked some ordinary white kids from ordinary families to make some drawings for us. Like, well, let's call him John. John's white, and we asked him to draw himself. This is John. This is his house, and this is his tree. Then we asked a black kid, let's call him Ralph, to do the same thing. This is Ralph's drawing of himself. This is his tree. Now, why should two kids of the same age draw so differently? Enter the expert. This is Dr. Emmanuel Hammer, psychiatrist specializing in children's therapy.
Well, let me illustrate it for you. Let's take these drawings. No matter what a child draws, he's really picturing himself. Ask a secure child to draw a tree, and he's likely to draw a bountiful, spreading tree. A black child drew this tree, cut off in its growth, stark, bare, ungratified. It works the same way with drawings of people. Normal children, average drawings. The mood is happy, the child feels capable, the drawings are complete, and the arms are developed to emphasize strength. These children were old enough to draw complete figures. The significant fact is what they left out. Arms, hands. A child may sense that a situation in life is so powerless that he himself is equivalent to an armless man. My own study reveals that armless people appear 3 times more frequently in the drawings by black children than those by white. The faceless beings suggest that these youngsters not only feel themselves to be less than they might be, they don't even feel themselves to be. The black child who is forced to live in a hostile world may disappear in self-defense. He drifts through life feeling like a shadow. He stops caring, and he stops trying. A child who has this on his mind cannot be a child. A child who has this on his mind could want to burn down cities when he gets older.
The whole confusion was summed up by a black 9-year-old in these 2 paintings. This is a 9-year-old boy draws a white man, Robin Hood maybe. And this is how the same boy draws himself. And this is the consequence of deformed history.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, the Bill Cosby that I want to remember. That's the Bill Cosby that I want to keep in my mind and in my memory, and not the other Bill Cosby that the media wants us to portray. That's just the way that I feel, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the Cleveland Police Union was calling for an apology from this NFL player. Now, I want you to listen to the response by Cleveland Browns player Andrew Hawkins' call for justice. If you have to put intelligence, because sometimes in the NFL, a lot of these players are not labeled as intelligent. They are called the T word. That's thugs. But here is Andrew Hawkins' response to the Cleveland Police Union, calling for an apology from him and calling for the NFL to put Andrew Hawkins in the naughty corner. Let's listen to Andrew Hawkins' response. As usual, these things take a little few minutes because we're trying to get the audio up for you. So bear with us as the audio comes up. It takes a few seconds. But here is an NFL player who is standing up for something. He's not accusing every police officer of victimizing young men of color. That's not what he's doing. All he's saying is that there may be a few bad seeds in the police force, and these bad seeds need to be addressed.
I'm just going to say my piece in the situation. Obviously, it's gotten a lot of coverage, which I kind of expected. And I'm not going to really answer your question, not any disrespect for you guys, but more as a consideration for the Browns and the kind of the predicament that they're in. I'm going to try to cover all bases, so I just ask that, you guys get the whole thing and, hopefully nothing gets misunderstood. I was taught that justice is, a right that every American should have, and also justice should be the goal of every American. I think that's what makes this country special. And to me, justice means that the innocent should be found innocent. It means that those who do wrong should get their due punishment. Ultimately, it means fair treatment. So, a call for justice shouldn't offend or disrespect anybody. A call for justice shouldn't warrant an apology. To clarify, I utterly respect and appreciate every police officer that protects and serves all of us with honesty, integrity, and the right way. And I don't think those kind of officers should be offended by what I did. My mom has taught me my entire life to respect law enforcement. I have family, close friends who are incredible police officers, and I tell them all the time how they are much braver than me for it. So my wearing of the t-shirt wasn't a stance against every police officer or every police department. My wearing of the t-shirt was a stance against wrong individuals doing the wrong thing for the wrong reasons to innocent people. Unfortunately, my mom also taught me that just as there are good police officers, there are some not so good police officers that would assume the worst of me without knowing anything about me for reasons I can't control. And she taught me to be careful and be on the lookout for those not so good police officers, because they could potentially do me harm, and most time without consequence.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Andre Hawkins talking about his situation. And I tell you, man, that brother gets it. Andrew Hawkins, he gets it. He really and truly does get it. And you know, when these type of things happen, I don't know why people think that you are somehow painting a broad brush and saying that all police officers are bad. No, they're not. It's just like all black people are not bad. Right? So you can't paint a broad brush. But let me give Andrew Hawkins a round of applause. Yes, Andrew, you deserve that round of applause. You absolutely deserve that round of applause. And tonight, I'm delving into some things that, you know, in this here United States of America, we need to talk about it. We really and truly do need to talk about it. Now, here is Phyllis Hyman talking about the power of black-owned businesses. Let's take a listen to Phyllis Hyman talking about the power of black-owned businesses. And this one again, ladies and gentlemen, is very interesting and as well as stimulating. So let's listen.
I run a black-owned company. In other words, it's a minority-based company. Most of my employees are black or Hispanic, and I deliberately started that years ago because of the unfortunate dilemma of minorities in the workforce and in the entertainment field, where blacks generate billions of dollars. We don't often get the opportunity to reap the benefits from that money that we generate. And considering that I generate part of that billion, I'm going to take it back to the community that put me here in the first place. That's very important to me. It makes sense. It's like adding one and one together. It makes two. Well, if the community put me out here, I've got to bring the community where I am. It's that simple. And it makes so much sense to me. I don't understand why others don't do it more often.
Well, I was going to ask you that. Why don't you think they are?
I have not asked any other black artists. I don't know. I have witnessed other artists. I look at Tina Turner, and I have asked the company about her staff, and I know she has no black people on her staff, excluding one guy, I think, who takes care of her costumes and all. Diana Ross, I don't believe she has many blacks on her staff. I have seen her tour book and all, and you see photographs, unless they all stayed home the night they took the pictures. I don't know. But I think it stems from the stereotypes from days past. And I remember when I first got in the business, all of the managers, the big guys came around, and I took my time. I was not in a hurry to do anything, and they were very peeved by that attitude. They knew I wasn't being conceited, but it's just that I wasn't in any hurry. I was making a decent living doing nightclubs. I just didn't understand what management meant, and I don't like to sign contracts. I knew enough from working as a secretary in legal services that once you put your name on that piece of paper, you are bound and gagged, and I don't like that. I like to be bound by my word, and those people who have worked with me over the years know that my word is my bond, and I don't go back on that. Not in certain areas. You know, if I say I'm going to do something in a contractual sense, I'm going to follow that. And I think that we're made to believe that you sing, and I, the management, let me do the other work. And we're brought up to believe that blacks can't do the managerial part, the same way in baseball where the gentleman said that blacks were not intelligent enough, if I'm not mistaken. I know he said something in that order. I mean, we can't handle that sort of job. What a ridiculous thing to say. Bless his heart, too.